Okay, so in this video we're going to show you how to get rid of the default admin user in your WordPress installation. So here we are on a demo site, and we're going to log in with the admin user credentials into our site. And obviously we want to get rid of the admin user because it's a security vulnerability. Hackers know that the admin user is the default user, so they'll use that to try and guess the password. So we're going to get rid of it. So on our sidebar here we come to users, all users, and you see at the moment the only user we have is called admin. We've got our email address in there, and we're the administrator of the site, so we have access to do everything. Obviously we can't change this name, we can only delete or create new users. So the process we're going to do is basically create a new admin user and then delete the old one. But one thing you might find, if you have your own email address stored in here, you can't have the same address on another user. So the first thing we're going to go and do is to edit the current user, and if we scroll down to the email address, we'll change this to something else. It doesn't really matter what it is. Let's say for now we'll just make it info, and then we'll save the profile there, update, and if we go back to users, we'll see this is now updated to info. So we're going to now add our new user. So here's the username. I suggest you make this not too easy to guess, so if you can have some extra characters, numbers in there, that would be a good idea. For example, if rather than putting Andrew in there, I might put for capital ND, just so it's not obvious to guess. Obviously you need to remember it, but we'll cover some methods for storing and recalling names and passwords in another video. The email, now I've freed up that email address, I can use it in this profile. The first name and last name aren't required. If you are going to fill them in, if you're doing blog posts that you want the author to show up, I would suggest you make this name different from the username. So where I've put a complicated format as the username, I could now make the friendly name, the name that would display on my blog posts, my normal name. Otherwise it's a logical assumption for a hacker to make that the name will be the same as the username. Password, I'm just going to put a basic one in for now, but again we'll cover strong passwords in another video, and we need to make this an administrator. So just to recap, we want a username that's not easy to guess, our email address. If you want to populate the name for your blog post, you can do. A strong password repeated, and we're going to make this have the administrator role, so it has access to everything. So we'll add that new user. That's now in there. Just to make this easier, I'm going to copy this username, and now we're going to log out of our admin account. You can see up at the top here we're logged in as admin, so I'm going to log out, and now we're going to log back in as our newly created user. Okay, so we've logged in. A few more things on the screen, but that's not to worry, and you can see we're now logged in under the user we created. Now we're in control of the users. We can go back to all users, and because we're now logged in as a different user, we can delete the old administrator account. So we'll click on delete, and we'll get a message asking us what we should do with any of the content that we've created under that new username, old username rather. It's important that we attribute it to the new user. Your other option is to delete everything, and obviously you don't want to lose all the posts and pages you've created. So we'll attribute it to the new user and then confirm the deletion of the admin account. Okay, that's gone. So now we've ended up with an administrator with a username that isn't the default admin, with our preferred email address in there. And that's how we get rid of the admin user in a WordPress installation.